see, I have about 5 different ideas in my head. Maybe I should have waited some more. Okay. Well, because of the Spanish heritage, the Latin Heritage Week, I will go with this story. Might not be the most exciting. But my husband is a Spaniard. And, okay, so that's that story. We're done. No. Okay, so the Ramons, their last name is Ramon, tend to be brilliant. Indeed, one of their ancestors was Santiago Ramon y Cajal. And for those who don't know who that is, that's the guy who figured out that we have a neural net. And for those of us who look like me and don't know this, but in Spain at least, the mother's name comes, Santiago Ramon y Cajal. The father's name comes first, is and then the mother's name. So you don't call Santiago Ramon y Cajal, you don't call him Cajal, you call him Ramon, because that's the father's name. So like my husband is Guillermo Ramon Chorda, Chorda being the mother's name. So just a little information, because I find very few white people in the United States know that. So you don't ever assume that the very last name is the last name of the Latin person. Ask them. So we went to Holland because my sister-in-law had married a Dutch guy, and she's brilliant. And she told us a little bit about her career, which is really fascinating, because she did all these things. She was like vice president of Gillette and in Venezuela. But the particular job that she had right now in Holland was she was working on the Human Genome Project. And she had tried to get other jobs, and they would tell, and they were about to hire her, but then they would find out she was a woman, and they would say, "We're sorry, Miss Ramon, only a man can do this job." So when she worked on the Human Genome Project, she was not the head of the lab, because only a man can do that job. But her boss saw that she could do that job, so he normally was not there. So she was the de facto head of the lab. So doors get shut on just about anybody, no matter how brilliant you are, no matter how many degrees you have, but just keep going. Now, the reason why this particular story came into mind, and I thought I could tie it to me a little bit, was that we all have, if you're from Europe or Asia, and have any ancestors who are from Europe and Asia, you have Neanderthal DNA. And so for a long time, as I was studying Neanderthals, I kept looking at people to find out what their Neanderthal was. Did they have an eyebrow ridge? Did they have a roll of something, that kind of roll you see on people's skulls back there? Those are Neanderthal traits. Are you a sinker rather than a floater when you swim? All this kind of stuff. And I was looking this all up because I was mad, because I've been trying to get published as an author for a really long time. And I will say, I am a very fine writer, but I just don't make it, so it drives me crazy. And I'm starting to learn out maybe why my head is too jumpy, I don't know. So I'm writing a story that I'm trying to, quote, what I would say, dumb down. And friends say, don't say dumb down, say you're making it more clear. No, I'm trying to dumb it down. Because I sent off a really good story and it was turned down, and then the company put on their website, nothing literary, which told me that a lot of people had written really good literary stuff and submitted it and got turned down. So yes, you can overshoot your goal. So I got mad and I thought, okay, I'm going to trash Hamlet. I'm going to make Hamlet a romance novel that ends happily. So that's what I was writing. And I've got a Neanderthal in it who's a cannibal. This is why I had to do all this research on it. So it's been a lot of fun to find out all these different things about, you know, who Neanderthals are. Because when I was a kid growing up, if you were a Neanderthal, you were stupid, you know. You're a knuckle-dragging Neanderthal. And whenever the scientists would draw Neanderthals, they always drew them as black. Guess what? Neanderthals existed for about 500,000 years. For comparison, we're only at 250. And they actually evolved in like Siberia and places like that. So they got used to cold weather really fast. They had to flee from it sometimes. So their skin turned white much sooner than Homo sapiens' skins turned white who moved north. Because because if you're not getting if your food you have does not have much vitamin D, your skin has to learn to make it from the sun. So that's what was happening, because as they killed off animals, and we came along and we killed off, oh, let's kill off lots of animals. The animals that we now eat do not have much DNA in them, and that's why many of us have to have the white skin, because we need to get that, the vitamin D somehow. So Neanderthals are fascinating. They're not stupid. They have better vision than we do. They're stronger than we are by at least 4 times, and that's starting with the women. So it's a lot of fun. So I am trying to have a seat at that table of an author published, not an indie author like I am now, not a small press author, but from a big 4. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find that seat at the table, and I hope the Neanderthals will get me there. Thank you. I don't know how long it goes.